95% of AI pilots inside companies right now will never go anywhere. Not 50%, not 70%, 95. That's the number from a recent MIT study that looked at 300 public AI deployments and surveyed hundreds of executives. The pilots run for months, the slide decks get prettier, the budgets get bigger, and almost none of it shows up on the income statement. And here's what makes it weirder. The technology isn't the problem. The companies have access to the same models, they're paying the same cloud bills, they've hired the same kinds of data scientists. The 5% that actually make money from AI are doing something different from the start. Once you see what it is, the gap is impossible to unsee. The interesting part is that the gap is widening, not closing. McKinsey's most recent State of AI survey found that 78% of organizations now use AI in some part of the business, so adoption is everywhere. But only a tiny sliver of those companies report any real bottom line impact. 42% of organizations actually abandon most of their AI initiatives in 2025, up from just 17% the year before. Translation: a huge group of companies tried AI, didn't see results, and pulled the plug. Meanwhile, a small group is pulling ahead so fast that the average return on AI investment for top performers is more than $10 back for every dollar spent. When researchers actually compare the two groups, the gap doesn't show up in the data science. It shows up in the first 90 days of the rollout. The companies that scale make 4 specific moves before they ever pick a model, and the companies that fail to scale skip every single one of them. They're not technical moves, they're organizational. The first one is the one most leadership teams get backwards. The first move is governance, but probably not the kind you're imagining. Most companies make one of 2 mistakes. Either they treat every AI project the same way. Endless legal review, sign-offs from 6 committees, 12 months to deploy a chatbot, or they have no oversight at all and somebody on the marketing team accidentally ships something that violates a privacy law on a Tuesday afternoon. Neither works. The companies that scale split AI into 2 lanes from day one. The fast lane is for low-risk stuff. Internal search across company documents, summarizing market research, helping a sales rep draft a follow-up email. These get standard guardrails for what data the tool can see and what it can output, and then they ship. The slow lane is for anything that actually changes a customer's life. Loan approvals, pricing decisions, hiring decisions, anything where a wrong answer hurts a real person. That stuff gets a human checkpoint, an audit log, and structured approval before it goes anywhere near production. There's also a deadline most teams haven't fully reckoned with. The EU AI Act's high-risk rules kick in on August 2nd, 2026. Any bank, insurance company, or lender doing business in Europe will be legally required to log every AI decision and document who reviewed it. The companies that built tiered governance from the start are walking into an easy compliance year. The companies that didn't are about to spend a fortune retrofitting an audit trail onto a system that was never designed for one. The second move is the actual rollout structure. The companies that scale don't try to do 10 things at once. They run a 90-day cycle, and they run it the same way every quarter. In the first 30 days, leadership picks 2 pilots, just 2. One that saves time on something boring like invoice processing, contract review, or scheduling. One that has a chance to grow revenue, like better lead scoring, smarter pricing, or faster customer support. They write down a baseline number. How long does this currently take? How many errors does it produce? How much does it cost? That baseline is non-negotiable. Without it, you can never prove the pilot worked. In the next 30 days, both pilots ship into the actual workflow. Not a sandbox, not a demo environment. Real customers, real employees, real consequences. The team checks in weekly. What broke? Who's avoiding the tool? What's the data telling us? In the final 30 days, leadership makes a hard call. Did this beat the baseline? If yes, write a playbook so the next team can copy it. If no, kill it and figure out why. The companies stuck in pilot purgatory are the ones that never make this call. They keep saying, let's give it another quarter until the budget runs out and everyone forgets why they started. A trucking company that ran this cycle on AI route planning cut fuel costs by 12% in 90 days. 12% isn't a magic number from the model. It's what happens when somebody actually measures and decides instead of letting the pilot drift for another year. The third move is how the winners spend AI budget. They don't put all their money into one moonshot, and they don't only chase quick wins either. They split the budget the same way a good investor splits a portfolio. 70% goes to fast, boring wins, stuff that pays back inside 3 months. The kind of thing that lets the CFO see real savings on the next quarterly call. 20% goes to plumbing, the data pipelines, the unified customer database, the security layer. Boring stuff that no executive gets excited about, but without it, every future project costs 10 times more. And 10% goes to 1 or 2 genuinely ambitious bets. The kind of project that might fail completely, but, if it works, becomes a real competitive advantage. The mistake everyone else makes is going all in on the 10%. Some big strategic AI transformation that takes 2 years and burns the budget before producing anything you can show aboard. The 70-20-10 split keeps the lights on with quick wins while still funding the bigger plays. The fourth move is the one almost nobody talks about. It's the difference between AI dying as a side project and becoming a permanent line item. The winners build something called an AI value ledger in partnership with the finance team. Here's how it works. Every time an AI tool saves time, the company writes down how much. Every time an AI tool prevents an error, they write down what that error would have cost. Every time an AI tool helps close a deal faster or stops a customer from leaving, they write that down too. The finance team, not the AI team, owns the ledger. So when the CFO asks, "Is this AI thing actually working?" there's a finance stamped document with real numbers, not a deck full of vibes. Why bother with the ledger? Because budget follows proof. A team that walks into the quarterly review with a finance-approved record of $4 million saved gets $8 million for the next quarter. A team that walks in with a slide deck full of vague claims gets cut at the next board meeting. AI lives or dies on the same rules as every other capital allocation decision in the company. A retailer running this discipline tracked AI-flagged inventory waste reductions in dollar terms. They walked into their quarterly review with a number their CFO could actually defend, and the AI budget tripled. Meanwhile, their competitor, running just as much AI work, couldn't produce a defensible number. Their AI program got mothballed, so if you're inside a company that's been running AI pilots for months and not really sure why nothing is shipped, you're not alone. You're in the 95%. But the move from the 95 to the 5 isn't about hiring more data scientists or buying a fancier model. It's about treating AI like any other operational capability. 2 lanes for governance, 90-day cycles with hard go, no-go decisions, a portfolio mix that funds quick wins and long bets, and a finance-owned ledger that proves the work paid for itself. If this kind of breakdown is useful, hit subscribe and you'll see more videos like it.